One Piece chapter 1156. First of all, the cover page, it had that, it had everybody's favorite word in there. Parallels. Parallels here, parallels there, parallels everywhere. Look at this. Sanji and Zoro looking at each other angry. We already know Gabon and Rayleigh had the same rivalry, okay? Not only are they in the same panels, but then Luffy in the middle with Roger, okay? And then Oda, of course, he just had to throw Nami in there. Nami laying there and see her feet at the bottom. Okay, Oda, you need to stop. Anyway, this chapter starts up kind of picking up where the last one left off. It's a little bit of a flash forward, even though it's a flashback, it's a flash forward in the flashback. And we're going over to the Kuja Pirates. The chapter's called Idols. And we learn not only that Gloriosa loved Roger, okay, but his whole crew and everybody else at the time were super captivated by Shaki. Okay, the Gloriosa, she might have been the queen at the time, but Shaki was like the one who everybody loved more or whatever, right? Like they see her, they pass out. Roger was simping for her. Okay, the only person who wasn't simping for Shaki was Rayleigh. But I want to mention this right here. This girl right here, Tritoma, who apparently becomes the Empress 2 generations later, as it says right here. A lot of people are saying that this is Luffy's mother. I've seen the little spoilers. I've seen the pages, the screenshots people are making and post on Twitter. I don't know. That's too far of a reach for me so far. I can't say that right now, but I understand why people keep trying to say that Luffy's mom is from Elements on Lily. It makes sense to an extent, and it's been a kind of a theory floating in the air for the longest, especially since Oda told us that Luffy's mom made an appearance or something like that. I forgot what he said verbatim, but I think he said we've seen Luffy's mom, we just don't know it or something like that. So I don't know. So if I continue on of what happened here in this chapter, we see the scene with Shakuyaku invading, or she's boarding the Roger Pirates crew in their ship, and she can just do whatever she wants. Okay, Roger's not stopping her, nobody's stopping her. Rayleigh's just sitting there letting her do it. Like, she stole all their treasure, okay, and she got away with it because she's bad. Okay, Roger's useless. I've seen a lot of people giving Roger some flack about this too. You can't do that. You can't take it so serious that Roger has a gag. You see one gag scene with Roger, or maybe it's not a gag scene, right? Maybe this is really her power. Maybe she's really so bad that Roger can be killed by her, right? Maybe that's completely factual and it's not just a gag. Either way, if you're that mad at this, I think you're taking shit too serious, man. Come on. That doesn't mean Roger's not the king of pirates. That doesn't mean now Rox is like stronger than him. No, bro. Stop it. So we also see how, Rayleigh reacts. He doesn't really react at all. He's kind of just sitting back, letting it happen. Like, yeah, my crew's idiots. So that shit is funny. So we also see this is the events. Like, I noticed when I seen Garp pull up, they mentioned in the chapter, okay, there's a Navy ship pulling up, we gotta go. I noticed that this is like, it's definitely gonna lead up to God Valley for a fact. Okay, this whole flashback is not gonna stop anytime soon. I think we're gonna get the full events of God Valley. I don't know how Harold will come into play, because like this first started off with Loki giving a flashback of his father in the throne room, and all of a sudden it started spiraling out into a whole God Valley Rox D. Zebek retelling and all that, right? So it went from Loki and his Elbaf backstory with his father and his death to God Valley. I don't know how we got there, but I'm glad. Okay, we're getting God Valley finally. And I noticed as soon as I seen Garp pull up that, yeah, this has been building up the whole time, man. Like, it's gonna slowly build us up into there. Roger is fighting Garp right here, and Rox is already talking about going to God Valley in this chapter as well. And not only should I say, Roger and Garp clashing was not as big as like the future ones, right? It wasn't as big as the future ones, and I know people are gonna say something about that, like, oh, Roger's not as strong. Listen, bro, you don't know that. Okay, yeah, you don't know that. You can't just keep talking about the character strength and who's weaker and stronger. Like just based off of one panel, or because one character got mentioned to have killed an admiral, you think nobody else can kill an admiral because it hasn't been like done yet, or nobody said that this other person did it yet. Come on, bro, you gotta stop. So their clash, I'm assuming their clash might have knocked out Gloriosa. I don't know why Gloriosa got knocked out. I think actually I didn't know why she got knocked out reading this chapter, but if I'm looking at it now, I think her getting knocked out right here was the whole result of like the love sickness thing that she was talking about, because Roger just completely rejected her. And that's killing her. I think that's what's going on here in this panel, but I'm not sure. We back at Ida's bar, and we see that Loki has had multiple offers in the past to live with Harold and Ida. And Harold, I don't know why, I've seen people calling Harold a bad father. Like maybe he is. I don't know. I can't give him any more excuses. Like, he knows that Loki is causing trouble. They told him that. They said, yo, we thought about not saving your son because of how much trouble he's been causing. And then he has Ida, who's like, that's his other, well, not even his wife, but the woman, the mother of his kid, right? She's caring about his other kid more than he is, basically. And he's still going out to sea every day. Like, he doing it for like I guess it's an important goal, but like, yeah, okay, bro, you should stay home, maybe. Like, your son's about to be a killer. Your son's trying to kill all the other kids. He's beating on the adults. Yeah, okay. And he's gonna act like he don't know that? Okay. So I can't give Harold any more excuses, man. Like, it's pretty obvious that Loki's wilding out. When every time he leaves, he should know this by now. So I also made in this chapter, I made the correlation between Ida and Holly Joestar. If you don't know about JoJo, well, listen, Jotaro, her son, calls his mother a bitch every day, and she just says, "I love you too, son." So that's basically Ida, okay? To sum it all up, you're a bitch, mom. I love you too, son. That's their whole relationship. So that's what she got going on too. She's just like super nice to a fault. They're making her. Because Loki said, yo, you just want the money. You don't want to take me in because you care about me. You just want the money that my dad has and all that. And she just said, oh, you're so sweet. So, but yeah, we see Loki, obviously, in this chapter 2. I forgot to mention, he tried to leave and go out to sea. I don't know how many times he tried to leave and go out to sea. But as he got older, it's kind of crazy to believe that he was never successful. And the one time he was successful, Shanks stopped him. So I don't know how that's gonna work out later, but like Shanks stopped him later, but like before then, you never once were able to actually set sail. Okay. I guess he's not good at that shit. I don't know. Maybe because he's trying to do it on his own, like, right? He can't man the boat by himself. I don't know. So this random pirate right here, who looks like he's dressed like one of somebody on Law's crew. He has the penguin hat on or some shit. I don't know what he's doing, but he looks kind of stupid. This dude mentions how the Rocks pirates are the all-stars of evil on the sea. And that immediately made me think, like, yo, they're just throwing it up in your face. Why the crew is so strong and why the crew was known to be so strong. And people still try to think that Rocks himself is just the strongest person on, like, he's probably the strongest person on the crew. Let's keep it real. But they're acting like he's the strongest person in the world because his crew is the strongest crew in the world. Now, I can see why you would think that. But to say that Garp and Roger needed to team up on Rocks, that's too much of a stretch, okay? We know their crew is made of super powerhouses. And we still, truthfully, don't know how strong Rocks is in comparison to people like Big Mom and Whitebeard. So you can't even say he's the strongest on the crew, right? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he is, but I'm not gonna say he is because we don't know that. Not yet. Like, what if he gets the devil fruit later? Maybe he's gonna boost up. I don't know. But Whitebeard, like, come on, Big Mom killed a giant as a baby, bro, as a kid. So just downplaying her strength, that just like we can't even see it. It's like unscalable. It's like, this is nonsense, bro. That she lost because she went crazy or some shit, right? Didn't she like she's crazy, okay? She lost because her mind is not in the right place. She's getting fucked up because she starts going into mama rage and big mom rage. Okay, anyway, it's a whole different thing. But I noticed in this chapter that they kept mentioning they're inside, like Rox and the rest of his crew on the island of Hachinosu. They're inside a rock shaped like a fish. And then we see Rox and his crew blowing up 2 holes inside of that rock. At first, I didn't know what he was talking about. I thought that because we know Hachinosu to have this skull-shaped island there, you know, the skull-shaped rock on the island. But when he started saying, like, they're inside the rock shaped like a fish, I started realizing, like, yo, we're seeing the origin of how the rock got shaped like a skull instead, right? So the fish tails now look like bandanas. It looks like the tails of the bandana. And then the 2 holes made the eyes for the skull. So I thought that shit was kind of funny. I noticed that. So Rox starts declaring exactly what it is that he wants to do. And he mentions 2 devil fruits. Now, I was wondering, what devil fruits could he be talking about? Like, I definitely think, 100%, I think one of those devil fruits, one of them has to be the one Blackbeard has. The Yami Yami no Mi, I think it's definitely the Yami Yami no Mi, for a fact. And then the one that he mentions that's on Elbaf, that the true power can only be unlocked if Harold eats it. People are saying it could be the Gumu Gumu no Mi, you know, Luffy's fruit, the Gum Gum fruit. I'm kind of leaning toward that too. It might be like the legend of that fruit is directly connected to Elbaf. Like, I don't see why it couldn't be that. There's no proof. There's no solid, you know, reason to even believe it really either, other than like the little Elbaf connection. But that's not nothing to really stand on, you know. But I kind of think it could be either one of those 2 fruits. Those 2 fruits have always, like, especially after I seen Luffy's form was all white. You know, and Blackbeard was always set up to be Luffy's rival in a way, and like an enemy of his. And it's like, okay, now the final battle is gonna be black versus white. I feel like those 2 fruits are kind of like they've been in that sort of dynamic for a minute with who that, you know, with the owner of the fruit being who they are. Luffy and Blackbeard are already opposites since the day we met them. So I don't know, maybe there's something, a deeper secret to the Yami Yami no Mi. I don't know. Who knows? Okay, this is like a lot of there could be a lot of correlation and connections of Blackbeard's fruit with the whole nature of devils and all that shit too. I don't know. That's headcanon. I just said that. I don't know, but I feel like that could be a thing. So we also see in this chapter the rest of Rox's crew is already formed, and you know they're all here already. This dude Strossen, that I didn't even notice who he was at first. I had to search him up. That's the little guy who made the cakes back in Whole Cake Island. Now I also found out he might be Peril Sparrow's father, but then again, like, I thought that wasn't a possibility because didn't he found Big Mom as a kid and then raised her with the orphans? But then, you know, maybe he's just doing some weird shit. I don't know. So I didn't take too much time thinking about it because we already know where that's going to end up. But Captain John, do we know how he fights? That was another thing I thought about in this chapter because the whole crew is strong. I don't remember. Like, I know he has a sword, but like, did he have any special abilities? I might have to search him back up. Because when I see him, like, I just think he, no disrespect to Captain John, but like, I feel like he's one of the weaker members. I might be remembering him completely wrong. But I feel like he's one of the weaker members, okay? Barbell, I didn't remember who he was. I'm sure we've seen him before. Okay, we know about all the Rock's crew in the past. So I know we've seen him before, we heard about him before. I don't remember him. What I do know is that he's ugly, okay? Really fucking ugly. So, Kaido, in this chapter, gets disrespected. He got punched in the face by Rox because he got rocked, okay? As I put it earlier, he got rocked. He really got rocked because he started trying to disrespect Harold and say, you know what? Why won't you just force Harold to listen to you? Not only was this scene funny, but this directly shows us, as did other scenes showed this too, right? Wow, I couldn't get that out. Other scenes showed us this too, right? But this scene really fucking highlighted the fact that Rocks is not like Blackbeard. He cares about his crew, and he's got more like honor than Blackbeard does. You know what I mean? Like he's not just like pure evil, or maybe he's like a controlled evil or something. Like he's a necessary evil type of dude. Like I don't know, because he's not just like gonna betray Harold, or like even though he thinks he probably could. He probably does think he can like force Harold into submission, but he's not going to do that because he sees him as a friend, as he said, right? So Blackbeard would probably stab anybody. He stabbed Whitebeard in the back, so he doesn't have that. He definitely doesn't have that, okay? We already know for a fact Blackbeard did literally stab his friend in the back for his devil fruit. So I think him kicking Kaido, and he's willing to like off him right here just because he said that shit, that's showing you how Rocks is. This is like Luffy to the different extreme. If you think about it, it's like the opposite extreme of Luffy. Like, right, Luffy he'll punch you in the face. He punched Vivi in the face for talking about herself bad, you know, and like he didn't threaten to kill her though, but he's not going, like Rocks is going to threaten to kill you. They're a little different, but the same at the same time. It's like the same but different, right? He's gonna hit his friend. He's gonna hit somebody in the face to tell him something like this and show him how serious he is. Just same way Luffy does. He punched Vivi in the face. He punches everybody in the face. You know. So I feel like that's another correlation of somebody like Luffy, especially because this is Blackbeard's father. He's gonna have the same similarities. Okay. There's nothing else I can say about the chapter. I feel like at the end right here, him talking about how we're gonna take down the Holy Land, and you know, I'm gonna show you the peak of the world. It just made me think about how Rocks definitely knows a lot more than just regular common people do. He knows about the whole, probably the empty throne and like, you know, Emu. He probably knows certain things about the Void Century, or maybe even the Will of D, or that demons exist. I don't know. But like the fact that every time I hear him speak about taking over the world in these past chapters, and now that he mentioned taking down the Holy Land, like that's like his big goal. And he pulled up on Emu and he said, I'll be back in the last chapter. That all lines up for me, and it's telling me that he might really know way more than we think he does. Like this plan of his, like he's targeting the right person, and he's specifically targeting 2 devil fruits that he knows about. Like, how does he know about these devil fruits? That's even the thing too. Like, how does he know they're on God Valley? How does he know about God Valley? Like, I'm sure he knows a lot of shit that the Celestials are doing and what they've done and other secrets like that in the world. So I don't know. I feel like Rocks is definitely like, I mean, we know he's smart. We know he has to be smart, but I think he's smarter than we know. Definitely. So yeah, that's it for me. I'm gonna end the stream, and I'm gonna trim this whole thing out, make it a video. I hope it's a good video. I don't know. But I'm out.